Let's get some insight on some of these foreign relations, these bilateral meetings, these country-to-country engagement, and these regional conversations, and how it affects Nigeria. I'm being joined by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Yusuf Tugar, who is live for us here in Abuja today. It's good to see you, Ambassador.
Good to see you in the new year.
Thank you so much. Before I go into the president's trip, Davos, and the fruit of Davos, let's see what exactly Nigerians could benefit from the Davos conversation, our Chinese-India conversations, what Trump and his policies will mean for our people. The issue of deportation, we're already seeing ICE, moving around, and deportation has really begun from what we see. It seems that on the home front, in your state, Bauchi, there is storm. And I've been reading and seeing a lot of issues between you and Senator Bala Mohammed, the governor of Bauchi State. And I think that is important for us to clear that political conversation in your state. And it does look like it's come to your own. He doesn't think that you are doing your job well. And you don't think that he's doing his job well. He came for your principle. He says that the president's policies are impoverishing Nigerians. And he says that all of these criticisms, they're not political. They're actually constructive criticisms. But it does look like he's not staying well with you. If someone says these policies are not making the lives of Nigerians better, I think it is better for your government to think about how you can make the lives of Nigerians better. Why are you hating Bala Mohammed for criticizing? Why are you not looking at the message, not looking at rather than attacking the messenger?
Well, you see, there's the issue of sincerity of purpose. Governor Bala Mohammed showed clearly he did not have any sincerity of purpose. It's not that other governors did not try to interrogate the tax bill when it was presented, which is, a good thing, as a matter of fact, so that Nigerians get the best of it out of the bill. But what Senator Bala Mohammed proceeded to do was to use it as a platform to launch his presidential campaign very early in the day. He was the most severe with his invectives towards the president, towards the administration, with his vituperations towards both the president and the administration.
So Bala Mohammed has a presidential ambition.
Well, clearly, this is what he wants to use it for. And you could see also that when the matter was interrogated, those with the level head, the governors and others, looked at it and said, yes, it's valid. And they decided to support it, and he made a quick about face. What the general public doesn't know is that since then, Bala Mohammed has been trying to secure an audience with President Tinubu. He was trying to use an event that was to hold in Bauchi, a Tijaniya Islamic event, where certain scholars from Senegal and other places had been invited to visit, to secure an appointment to meet with Mr. President, to use it as a photo op, and to plead behind the scenes. So you can see that now that he's seen the tax bill has moved forward, he's still talking on the one hand, and he's still trying to use the back door to secure an appointment. This smacks of insincerity.
Did he say that he wanted to see the president? Has he told you that he wanted to meet the president?
I have a letter to that effect, because he wrote to the president, and the president directed that the letter be sent to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, because the language he was using is about foreigners coming, foreign Islamic scholars coming to visit, and he wants them to be supported when they come, meeting them at the airport. This is the purview of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And then use it to meet the president. He will probably beg quietly, as he was doing when he followed him all the way to Riyadh last year. And when probably he didn't get what he wanted, he decided, okay, that was the time to use this tax reform bill to launch my career. Meanwhile, he's busy doing serious damage to Bauchi State. he's busy disenfranchising the very poor in Bauchi state. Farmers, herders are being dispossessed of their grazing land, of their farmland, expropriating it, land grabbing, giving it to private entities. At the moment, there's even a court case in one particular, because you see, what he's doing, number one, he's touching federal grazing reserve, which is not under the state. He should not be touching federal grazing reserve, where federal government has made investments on that land. Number two, there is a state House of Assembly, so state law, that has designated grazing reserve for the state as well. He is circumventing all of that, or violating the existing law with something he calls Order 3, where he is grabbing that land and giving it to private entities. First, he says it's a lease, and then they're being issued certificate of occupancy. So this is where we just finished talking about Lagos State and Constitution and State House of Assembly laws and so on. You cannot come brazenly as a governor and start violating all of that, and you're pauperizing the very poor. They're already poor.
Because you're coming after the governor, and because you have also been alleged that you have an ambition to become governor. And these are some of the reasons why you are saying all these things. And you are being painted that is a voice of the opposition criticizing your principal about alleged bad policies and policies that are affecting negatively the Nigerian people. And this is really wounding, because he's on the home front. You are from Bauchi, and people are asking you, politically speaking, it's affecting your base in Bauchi, and that's why you're not happy, Minister.
No, but you see, you have to look at my antecedents. I did not run in 2019 for governor. I ran for governor as far back as 2011.
But you're still interested in becoming governor?
No, not necessarily, no.
But you are intended to accept?
No,
is it a foregone case?
That is not the issue. That is not the issue. That will be decided when the time comes. Okay? So that is
because
not...
you were saying that Bala Mohammed wants to be president. They're saying that you also want to be governor.
Well, that is even besides the point. I'm not doing this thing because of the issue of running for governor or not running for governor. The land, the first piece of land that he expropriated is from my hometown, from Udubo.
The governor is defending the reasons.
Federal grazing reserve.
Yeah, the governor is defending the reasons why he made those policies. So, and he says it's for the interest of the people of Bauchi.
Yeah, so if you're going to do it, go about it the right way. There is a procedure. There is an existing law. There's a state law. There are federal laws that guide this. And we have seen the effect of taking land from farmers, from herders.
Do you have evidence of these land grabbing allegations, Minister?
Oh, certainly. This is a case that is already in court, okay? This is something that is known. You know, please send your people out to Udubo, send them to Zindiwa to interview people. We have clips. And not only that, the environmental damage, the ecological damage that is being done by Governor Bala and his co-travelers, where they're cutting down trees and making charcoal out of it and selling it. Land that he sold to these people, or leased, who knows, for 300 billion naira. And this is not now just happening in Udubo, where my hometown, where I come from, which is why, I feel the need to speak about it. It's not just a matter of running for governor or not running for governor. Forget that. He is doing it also in other parts of the state. He is doing it even in his local government, Alkaleri. And what happens is, when the traditional ruler there does not comply, protests or objects to that, he removes the traditional ruler. Find out what has happened to the traditional ruler in Udubo, my hometown. Find out what is happening to the traditional ruler in Guana district. Find out also what he is doing with regards to the solid minerals. You know, Bauchi is right next to Plateau State. It has a lot of solid minerals. Companies being registered, land being expropriated, taken. These people are moved out. And then when you cut down those trees and make charcoal out of it and divert rivers, which is what he did in my own local government close to my hometown, then you have flooding. If you search the internet, you will see what happened. Everybody knows what happened in Bauchi State. It is a direct result of some of these activities. Flooding, people lose their lives, lose their properties, and he doesn't care. He doesn't care. It's so brazen because he has taken his FCT template, what he was doing as minister of the Federal Capital Territory here, land grabbing here, allocating plots and all of that, and he is using that template on an agrarian state, which is Bauchi State. You cannot do that. This is Federal Capital Territory. But Senator, it's not an agrarian
Senator Bala Mohammed will say he is an example of good governance.
How?
He is really a template. And there are pictures of the projects, the commissioning, and some of the things that he does on the ground. So as far as you're concerned, you don't think that your governor is performing?
No, it's not that I don't think. I know. And it's so brazen because he feels he has gotten away with what he did in Abuja. He can do the same thing in Bauchi. And these are people like Bala are people that have existed, subsisted throughout their lives.
Opposition narratives, isn't it? These are not popular on the ground. Because Senator Bala Mohammed is a second-term governor. If he wasn't popular, he wouldn't have been re-elected.
I can show you interviews of people, of Fulani farmers and herders complaining about this. So this is not something. Look at the chatter on the internet. Look at Facebook. So this is something that has been ongoing. It's not even, me starting this. No, it is something that has existed, but nobody is challenging him. I'm speaking on behalf of the voiceless.
So you don't think there is good governance in Bauchi? Is that your position?
There is. How can there be good governance in Bauchi when Bauchi has procurement laws? They domesticated the procurement law. There's the Public Procurement Act. Now, a lot of states domesticated that. He does not abide by that. There are laws passed by the State House of Assembly, guiding the allocation of land, grazing reserves. He is violating them brazenly. Now he has another scheme called RAMP, R-A-A-M-P, which is going to be a ramp to siphon funds away from the state. Now, what he has come under the guise of rural development, but in actual fact, what he's going to do is borrow heavily. So he's going to put the state further in debt, and the funds, which he himself admitted yesterday on BBC Hausa Service, the funds that he has gotten, that he is getting from the center, from the state's allocation, have been multiplied by President Tinubu. In fact, he admitted that what I said the state was getting is even more. Because what I was trying to do was I was trying to be just to him, so I did not include local government funds. But he's taking all of that. What is he doing with the thing, with the funds? Instead of him to develop the state, he's using such funds simply to acquire land, use it for settlement, even within the GRA of Bauchi itself, the state capital. He will say they are going to do schemes, they want to expand government house, this and that, and they are buying the properties of people in the neighborhood. And they will compensate them, but within the compensation, they're siphoning funds. And then, of course, there's a trickle-down factor, because those that are working for him that see that, okay, this is what he's doing, they say, okay, we've bought your house, you're not even allowed to take anything from it. We have all of these things happening. And then in the rural areas, he's taking this land, ecological damage and so on.
Minister, all of this agitation came from him criticizing your principal, the president, and his policies. He says it's constructive. It's not political.
No, it did not.
He's saying that let the president do right by the Nigerian people. He should bring out policies that will impact positively on the Nigerian people. But you are angry
he's done an about face. He's done an about face yesterday. Listen to what he was saying on BBC Hausa service. He's saying that yes, he said all of that, but now everything is okay. He's moved on from that. It's been explained and all of that. That they're there to seek for explanation, and then because he knows he has written to the president, trying to sneak through the back door to go and plead with the president to kneel down, because that's what he's used to doing. That's what he used to do when he was FCT minister. And this is someone that has been a leech on government. People that throughout their adult lives know nothing but to always be in government. I did not go into government until I was past the age 40. I was in private sector, so I can survive without government. He can't.
Minister, these are heavy allegations you are leveling
against
the
not allegations. The
state.
Facts are there. There's a court case that has been instituted. You can check to see what the activities. Check RAAMP. Like I said, I can show you the video clips of people that have been interviewed. It's actually even there on the internet. Right. It's out there in that space.
Well, it does look like the Bauchi matter just took a bit more of our time, but let's get to it. The president is going to that summit in Tanzania, in Dar es Salaam. The question is that Nigeria needs energy. We are lacking a lot. We are lacking substantial visibility of, especially when it comes to electricity. What could be the benefit Nigerians should be looking for out of that conversation?
Well, Nigeria, of course, as you know, being an African summit, is not just going to be speaking for Nigeria, it's going to be speaking for the continent. So expect President Tinubu to talk about debt relief, and this is something that he has been harping on. Also the funding, the issue of the funding of the energy transition. This is something that the developed countries committed to. They committed to the transfer of energy, of technology to developing countries during the Rio Earth Summit as far back as '92. That conversation has gone quiet, and now President Tinubu is putting it at the forefront. There's also the issue of the facilities that or instruments that can be provided through the IMF that are not loans, but that would provide funding for the developing countries so that they will be able to make that transition to cleaner energy. And of course, for us, we are a gas-rich country, so we consider gas as a transition fuel. We're looking to utilize it. We've got the Ajakuta, Abuja, Kaduna, Kano gas pipeline that is being constructed. Project has gone far. We've got OB Urban within, so we have quite a number of pipeline projects taking gas from the southeast or south to the west and other parts of the country. So these are some of the things that, but we will be championing the issue of debt relief and how to fund the energy. And importantly,
is the World Bank getting interested in the conversation of debt relief?
Absolutely. So you've got the special drawing rights, okay, with the IMF. And those special drawing rights are not a debt, it's not a loan. So it's really a facility that's provided, similar to what was provided to countries during COVID. So this is something that Nigeria is agitating for, that is championing for. The president met with the head of the IMF in Brazil on the margins of the G20 summit. This is one of the things that he brought up. And it's something that he's doing, speaking up on behalf of the entire continent. Importantly, we have the African Atlantic gas pipeline that is to deliver Nigerian gas all the way to Morocco. This is something that has become increasingly attractive because we have the ECOWAS has adopted it, okay, because it's the ECOWAS, the literal states, the countries, ECOWAS countries along the coast of West Africa, all the way to Morocco. So each country gets to benefit. And those that in the future will become producers of gas as well, like Senegal has made a discovery, will also join that gas pipeline. And then you've got the Maghreb gas pipeline that delivers gas from Morocco to Europe. So it positions Nigeria as an exporter of gas to Europe via pipeline.
After we play a major role because that the Continental Trade Agreement,
African Continental Free Trade Area.
Yes, and I know that the Vice President was speaking about this in Davos when he was speaking with the President of WEF.
Absolutely.
But a bigger picture here. Obasanjo did it in his administration, debt forgiveness.
Yeah.
Nigeria's foreign debt is standing at over $4 billion as we speak. Is the president seeking specific debt forgiveness?
Not just for Nigeria, but the entire continent.
But we're more concerned. I mean, I'm thinking like Donald Trump right now. Let's think first and foremost about Nigeria. We have over $4 billion of foreign debt.
Yeah, but compared to that, compare that to the Obasanjo era when the debt was over the $30 billion. If you remember, it was 30-something billion dollars. And they forgave, I think, $23 billion. So really, when it comes to the issue of our debt, I'm not a financial expert, but I would say that our domestic debt is even more than the foreign debt. So that is not.
But so the president is not seeking specific debt forgiveness.
So even if we seek for specific forgiveness, it would be particular debts, not the entire debt of Nigeria, because Nigeria is not considered to be a poor country. It's not a least developed country. So those that you're talking to saying you should forgive the debt, we'll look at that.
The DMO minister, the DMO is warning that our debt is rising astronomically. And under this government, more borrowings are going on. And we are, worried that the president, wherever, I mean, any forgiveness, anybody that is lifted will help the nation.
Of course, there'll be that, but I'm saying to you that we have to pick and choose what we ask for, because at the same time, we're a country with assets, with a lot of resources. So we've got hydrocarbon assets, we've got oil reserves, we've got gas. We have 207 trillion cubic feet
Before
of gas.
Before this government came in, we have minerals with even the oil that we have not refined.
Yes,
we have not even explored. So we have futuristic debts that we are paying with our resources in the future.
We do, but when you look at our debt to GDP ratio and all of these other indices, we are not considered to be a high-risk country or
Let me ask you,
a danger.
Minister, there are those who believe, and alone this year, the president has traveled a minimum of 2-3 countries. And there are those, and he stayed, it's just the 26th day of January, he stayed at least 10 or more days outside of this country. There are those who think that the president is traveling too much. He needed to stay in the country and pay attention to the worries of Nigeria rather than those foreign meetings, which he could ask VP Shetima to do more of that. Are you worried that Nigerians are agitated that the president is traveling too much?
I don't think that is a fair assessment because, number one, I've said this before, I think I said it on your show, the administration is new, the president is still new. He was sworn in 2023.
It will be 2 years in the next 3-4 months.
So in global terms, he's still a new president. He needs to interact with his colleagues, fellow heads of state, to be able to establish relationships, and you can see the fruits of these trips.
And those couldn't be done virtually.
You can't.
Can Nigeria really afford all these foreign travels?
You cannot.
It costs a lot to travel, though, isn't it, Minister?
But look at the benefits. So you travel once and you get $2 billion of investment, like he did to Brazil, the Batista brothers, where other countries are chasing after them. And President Tinubu was able to secure that, to invest in developing livestock in Nigeria. They're the largest player in that sector, slaughtering, 50 million chicken every day, 8-point-something million cows. And if you look at the Brazilian cows that are 500 kg compared to ours that are 250 kg, which will in turn also solve some of our farmer herder disputes, because you're also attracting these people to come not only to help you develop your livestock, but they're also coming to invest in producing feed. Soybeans. Look at what Brazil did with the Cerrado, the savanna, which was considered barren land because it had too much. It was too acidic, and then limestone was applied, and then it turned into one of the most prolific producers of soybeans in the world. This is what we're doing. So if he goes to China, the same thing. You can see someone.
So it's justified. His travels are justified.
Absolutely. Yeah. In fact, I would venture to say we're not traveling enough. We should do more.
At the expense of Nigerians.
We should do more. No,
it's expensive to travel. No, Nigeria does not have the money, Minister.
Nigeria has the money. How much does traveling cost compared to the benefits, and how much does it cost really when you're comparing it to some of the things that the president has already addressed? How much were we wasting on subsidy, on fuel subsidy, on electricity subsidy, on all these subsidies? We were subsidizing consumption instead of subsidizing production and subsidizing the real sectors of the economy. So even from those savings that the administration has made today, traveling is justified.
Minister, I have two very crucial questions, but I have 60 seconds only to end the program. Professor Bolaji Akinyemi said Nigeria should not be a partner in BRICS. Nigeria should be a permanent member.
Well, he is someone that I hold in very high esteem.
He's not the chairman of NIA?
Yes, he's and I think coming into the NIA as chairman would help him also see some of the issues, because sometimes when you're a bit removed from the realities of and the daily affairs as they unfold, you can make.
So we are not seeking membership.
We are a partner. We're a BRICS partner. We're not ruling out membership, of course, down the line. But it has to be. You have to look at the temporal considerations. You have to do things at the right time. And President Tinubu has shown that he is good at making the call at the right time. So we are in the same category as Saudi Arabia. And at the moment, you have President Trump in America. You don't know what he's going to do with the BRICS members.
That's my point.
So
are you worried about Trump's policy?
We are in the same category with Saudi Arabia, and we're confident that he is not going to touch Saudi Arabia. And nor is he going to touch Nigeria. It's a dollar-based system, a global system. And America's concern would be whether BRICS is positioning itself as a rival or removing itself. And there are things we're doing bilaterally with America, same way that there are things we're doing bilaterally with China, with Brazil, with India, and so forth. Minister, that is why for now, this is the best position for us.
We are totally out of time. I mean, a lot of people are worried about Trump's policies, but well, thank you so much, Minister, for coming tonight. Ambassador Yusuf Tugar, the Minister of Foreign Affairs. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having me.